is the 8th video in the series of video lectures on the chapter motion. As we have discussed earlier, the velocity time graph of a body in uniform and non-uniform acceleration. Today we will discuss the three equations of motion. Okay, and as you can see, the three equations of motions are written here. V is equal to u plus at, S is equal to ut plus half at square, v square minus u square is equal to twice as. Now, before we proceed further, we will discuss what are these equations. These equations are known as equations of motion, but they are applicable only for uniform acceleration case. These equations of motion are applicable only for uniform acceleration case. You cannot apply it everywhere. The first equation goes like this. V means final velocity, U means initial velocity, A means the uniform, the constant acceleration, and T is the time. Second equation, S represents displacement here, is equal to u into t plus half of at square, where a is acceleration again, but again this acceleration should be constant. V square minus u square is equal to twice as. Twice as means a means acceleration and s means displacement. So if you know these equations, then you can find the associated quantities. Suppose you need to find V and you know U and A. If you know U and A, then you can find final velocity V. Okay. Now, how those equations of motion were derived? We will discuss only one method here, and that method is known as graphical method of deriving the equations of motion. Okay, equations of motion, the three equations that we just discussed: V equal to u plus at, S equal to ut plus half at square, and V square minus u square is equal to twice as. These three equations of motion can be derived. Okay, but for that, what we need to know is that, suppose this graph, the graph here you can see, it's the velocity versus time graph. Velocity versus time graph. And the graph is a straight line starting from here. Okay, just by looking at this graph you can be sure that this graph is for uniform acceleration. The graph is for uniform acceleration. Now, if you think about it, velocity into time. Velocity into time is equal to displacement. You can calculate it and see, because velocity is what? Displacement by time. So displacement is equal to velocity into time. Now from that idea, what we can say is that this is the graph. You can see the black line here is the graph of velocity and time for uniform acceleration. The area under this graph, that means this portion. The area under the graph, the area under velocity time graph, the area under this particular graph, that means this area. The magnitude of this area under this graph will represent displacement of the moving object. So the magnitude of the area under this will represent displacement of the body. Using this idea, we can derive the three equations of motion. Let's derive the equations of motion now. So here you can see I have drawn a velocity time graph. And what is the case? The case is for uniform acceleration. How will you know? Since the graph from A to B is a straight line. Velocity time graph for uniform acceleration is always a straight line. Now, at time t equal to 0, at time t equal to 0, the velocity of the object is this value. The value here is u. The velocity of the object is u. At some interval of time, that means after some time t, the velocity, the graph is here. So we drop a perpendicular from B on the velocity axis and we have this value as v. So at time t equal to 0, the velocity of the body is u. At time t equal to t, the velocity of the body is v. Now we drop a perpendicular from point B on the time axis. Okay, you can see I have drawn a perpendicular. Let us name it as C. So a perpendicular BC is dropped upon time axis and a perpendicular AM is dropped on this particular straight line BC. So this is the graph. Once again, what is this graph? This graph corresponds to uniform acceleration case. This is the velocity time graph of a moving object under uniform acceleration, and hence it's a straight line. So the graph is this part from A to B only, and the rest is construction here. The graph is only from A to B. As time changes, you see the velocity also increases uniformly. Okay, in a straight line like this. So from B we drop a perpendicular on the time axis, and you can see it is BC. This is the perpendicular symbol. From this point B again we drop a perpendicular on the velocity axis also and mark this value as V, final velocity V. From A we drop a perpendicular on the constructed straight line BC, and you can see this is the perpendicular AM. Okay. Now let us go to our definition of acceleration. If you recall the definition of acceleration, acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. Rate of change means change in velocity divided by time taken. So what is acceleration? Change in velocity divided by time taken. Okay? What is acceleration? Change in velocity divided by time taken. So now first let us see what is the change in velocity. Corresponding to this particular graph, you can see at time t equal to 0, the velocity of the body is u. At time t equal to, when the time is t, the velocity of the body is v. Once again, when the time is 0, the velocity of the body is u. How can you know this? Because at t equal to 0, you can see the graph is this point, u. At time equal to t, the graph is this point. So the value on the velocity axis is v. So initial velocity is u, final velocity is v for this particular graph. So the change is what? Final minus initial, v minus u. How much time is taken for this? The time. How much time is taken for this? You can check from here. For this velocity, this is the point. Drop here. You get time. The body takes, or the body after time t achieves velocity v, and hence this is t minus 0. So on calculation you will get v minus u by t. This side is a is equal to v minus u by t. You shuffle this, you will get v is equal to u plus at. So this is the first equation of motion. From here we multiply t to the left hand side, t goes this side, and on reshuffling we get this particular equation. So this is the proof of the first equation of motion, v equal to u plus at. Okay, now let us go to the second equation of motion. The second equation of motion, how can you obtain it? Again we have the same graph. Okay, just now we have discussed that displacement is equal to area under the graph AB. The displacement of the moving object under uniform acceleration is the area under this graph AB. Okay, area under this graph AB means that we have to find the area of this whole part. You have to find the area of this whole region, the area under the graph. So it is clear from the diagram, area under graph AB is composed of area of triangle A and B, this part, plus area of rectangle OCMA. So the area under the graph AB is composed of two parts, area of triangle A and B and area of rectangle OCMA. So we will find the area under using the respective formulas. How to find area of triangle A and B? Half into base into altitude. Area of a triangle is half into base into altitude. So we find half into base. Base of A and B is what? If you look at the triangle A and B, the base of A and B is AM and altitude is BM. This is the altitude part and this is the base part for triangle A and B. So AM into BM. Area of rectangle OCMA. Area of rectangle is length into breadth. So area of rectangle OCMA, this is the length, this is the breadth, you can say. So OC into CM. Okay, half into, now what is AM? Now you see, what is AM? AM, this distance AM is exactly equal to the distance OC. The distance AM from A to M is exactly equal to the distance OC. And where is OC? The OC lies on the time axis. OC lies on the time axis. That means the magnitude of OC is nothing but some time. So from O to C, what is the time you see? If you go from point O to C, the time is what? At C point you have marked T. So that means the OC segment corresponds to time T. Okay, the OC segment corresponds to time T. And since OC is equal to AM, AM also is equal to T. So in place of AM, we substitute T. Okay. Now BM part. The BM segment is from top to this B to M. Okay. Now this BM can be further rewritten as BC, that means from here to here, BC minus CM. If you subtract CM from BC, you get the remaining BM part. So in place of BM we can write BC minus CM. And similar reasoning can be used to find out why we have written OC and CM. Now BC distance from here to here, or BC segment is equal to this segment from this point to this point. BC segment is equal to this segment. Okay, or you can say the BC distance from here to here. We are going in the upwards direction or along y-axis. So BC will represent velocity. This BC section is equal to this from here to here. And from here to here, what is the total magnitude of velocity? From here to here, the magnitude of velocity is V. And for CM, C to M is equivalent to saying O to A. C to M is equivalent to saying O to A, which is the magnitude of, from O to A, the value of velocity on the y-axis is U. From O to A it is U. So we write CM is equal to OA and directly we write U. And this side OC is equal to T and CM is equal to U. So we put this values here. Now you see, if you calculate this, what will happen? On the left hand side we had displacement, so we can use S to represent displacement. Half of t. Now this is v minus u. If you recall the last formula, somewhere we got a step like this. A is equal to v minus u by t. So v minus u is equal to a into t. Somewhere we got this intermediate step. So we will use this concept here. V minus u is equal to a into t. V minus u is equal to a into t. Plus the remaining part is ut. So if you calculate it, you will get s is equal to ut plus half at square. This is the second equation of motion. S is equal to half of at square plus ut. This is the second equation of motion. Okay. Now let us obtain the third equation of motion. The third equation of motion is v square minus u square is equal to twice as, where v is final velocity, u is initial velocity, and s is the displacement. So in this equation you will note that what is happening, t is not present, or the time factor is not there. We have final velocity, initial velocity, acceleration and displacement. Okay. Now when you are going to derive this, again you will use the same velocity time graph for uniform acceleration. But what you will do now, you will start with this step. What is S here? S represents displacement. Displacement is area under the graph or curve AB. Okay, area under this graph AB you can say. Now, area under this graph, just like in last case, it is the sum of area of rectangle OACB, OCMA plus AMB. That was for the last case. But we can also say the area under the same graph AB, listen carefully, for this particular third case, the area under the graph AB can also be expressed like this. Area of trapezium OACB, OABC. Okay. So the area under the graph AB can also be expressed. You can see it can also be rewritten as area of trapezium OABC. So what should click in your mind is that to obtain S equal to ut plus half at square, you have to divide the area into two parts. Area of triangle ABC, triangle AMB plus area of rectangle OCMA. Okay, and to obtain v square minus u square is equal to twice S, what we do? We take the area for the whole trapezium. See the difference? Last case it was triangle plus rectangle. This time we are taking area under the curve AB to be directly equal to area of trapezium OABC. Okay, this is just a way of obtaining. Now if you recall the formula for area of a trapezium, what was the formula? Half into sum of parallel sides. If you see the trapezium OABC, OA and BC are parallel to each other. This is the symbol of parallel. Okay, OA and BC are parallel to each other. So we write OA plus BC, sum of parallel sides, into perpendicular distance between the two parallel sides. This is the formula of area of trapezium. Half into sum of parallel sides into the perpendicular distance between the two parallel sides. So this is one of the sides, this is the other parallel sides of the trapezium. The perpendicular distance means the shortest distance between them, like this. So you can write either AM or you can write OC. So we are writing OC. Again from last, OA is equal to U. You can see from the graph. BC is equivalent or equal to this part, hence it is equal to V. OC is equal to T. So half of U plus V. Again from the first equation, V is equal to U plus AT. V is equal to U plus AT, so V minus U is equal to AT. From here T is equal to V minus U by A. So you put it here, T is eliminated. T is replaced with V minus U by A. So further simplify it, you will see that it is equal to half U plus B, V minus U. So it is basically a minus b into a plus b whole square formula. This formula. A minus b into a plus b is equal to a square minus b square. This formula we will use it here. U plus b into b minus u, we are getting v square minus u square divided by a. So s is equal to v square minus u square divided by, there was a half here, a. So reshuffle it, bring this to an a on this side, we will get twice as is equal to v square minus u square. So from here we are getting v square minus u square is equal to twice as. So this is the third equation of motion. V square minus u square is equal to twice as. Now the question is, when to use this equation? These equations are to be used when you are dealing with the case of uniform acceleration. You cannot use them everywhere. Okay. These equations are true for uniform acceleration case only. When value of a is constant. If in some question you are observing that a is changing, then you cannot use them directly. Okay, there is a different way of doing that in that case. So these are the three derivations of equations of motion by using graphical method. This method is known as graphical method. Okay, in the next class what we will do, we will discuss uniform circular motion and we will solve some numericals by using these equations of motion. Okay, till then study this and practice these derivations at home. Thank you.